What's up, everybody? Doug Lane here, Fast Lane Car Care. A lot of talk on the internet, on the Facebook groups about if you have to take these out to get a good result, you need to go back to the toolbox, you need to do better, work on your skills, all this shit, right? I can't tell you how many times I see these cut short, loaded with crap, trying to fight these little seals. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room. So I'm gonna show you how I do it and exactly how much time it takes. And I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not going to explain anything. I am gonna go ahead and put these screws back in, just so we have a fair comparison, start to finish, and you tell me you know, how fast it is or what you would rather do. I'm gonna show you how fast it is to get these out. All right, so we've got this panel in. It's as if, you know, whatever, right? And like I said, I'm not gonna talk, I'm not gonna explain anything, I'm just gonna get to it. All right, ready, set, go. For real? There we go. So I'm just holding the panel with my leg there so it's not flopping around. What can I tell you? When you're fast, you're fast. Come here. Now all I'm doing is just putting a couple tabs right there. Grab this bolt. This is just for your mirror. Creates a little extra space. Time. So you can see, or you're gonna see, you can see our dirt line. Hopefully you can see our dirt line. See how you don't really have a whole lot of room for error, and these seals are actually pretty tight. So I find that when they're used like this, you're gonna get a bunch of trash in there. Not fun. So make sure you tint it the correct way. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to go back and look, see what the video was. Shouldn't have been more than a minute or two. And you know, if we had a plotter, we had our patterns already laid out, we could just lick them and stick them, slap them on there, but I'm gonna hand cut it. If I wanted to, I could have hand cut it, you know, double cut off my other pattern, but I didn't. Doesn't much matter. If you're taking your panel off to bottom load, you can see that it was literally, what, 5 bolts and a screw. 3 for the mirror, which are kind of sort of optional. You can fight them if you want, but I just loosen them up a bit, get that mirror trim out of the way, makes it a little easier. I just bring them over here to the table. I mean, you can use a bench with a vise and You can do all kinds of stuff. Now, you cannot tint these laying down, dude. I don't care how much you clean, how much you scrub. If you install the film laying down like this, you're gonna get trash. If you want, man, you can file these. And mainly just want to get that out of the way. You could stick it on there, you could file it, but since I'm, you know, I don't have anything freestanding to hold it, filing's not going to work very well for me. This is the hardest part right here, just seeing where your edge is. You could shave it. I just find it's a little bit unnecessary. And since you do have a border, you know, you have a gap. For me, the fastest way to do these is just leave a slight gap. So I don't know, are we counting the time it takes to make your pattern, or because I mean, you're gonna have to make a pattern regardless if you hand cut, whether you take the windows out or not, you still gotta make a pattern. Now this is a little bit less than desired, but if we look right here, we're still gonna be covered, and we can actually round this corner, we can slide that back a little bit. Not as pretty as I'd like it to be, but once this goes together, guess what? Nobody's gonna see it. So now I prop them up like this, and I do this with pretty much every quarter window. You can do them different ways. You know, different windows, different sizes, all that stuff. This isn't my favorite because the towel kind of overhangs that, but you saw on the other side what I got going on, how it worked out. So see if we can repeat. Now I don't even spray the glass. I just spray the film, and I like to hold the bottom. I feel like time is money here, and the less time you can spend with it exposed, with the adhesive exposed that is, the better. Yeah, come here, buddy. Well, we'll just do it this way. Now once it's on there, you really don't have to worry. It's pretty much smooth sailing from there. So the contamination can't get in because it's on the glass. One thing that you will find, especially if you got your juice pretty slippery for like bottom loading, your film will try to slide around on you, so you want to kind of hold it. I like to take one stroke and just kind of fine tune it where we want it. This is just with my cleaning squeegee. Now we can just hit it again. Boom. Boom. You know, go over it as many times as you want. Doesn't matter, whatever. Biggest takeaway with doing it like this is make sure your edges are not overlapping. You need to be able to do the little finger test, whatever. So that way we can ensure that when we put this together, it's not gonna peel in the seal when we put it back in the seal. So what I like to do, we can see we got some dust from the rag. We can look at this. It's probably gonna be hard to tell because the glass is obviously dirty because we're finger banging it and everything, but we're tucked past our seal all the way around, as evident by our little dirt line. Even here where it gets a little close, where my fingernail is the edge of the seal. It's all still tucked in there. Now what I like to do, this is the outside of the glass. It's just for assurance, insurance, reassurance, whatever. Hit it with the edges real quick. With the torch, you could use a heat gun if you want. Look, I can still hold this. It's warm, it's not burning me. We're not worried about melting, you know, this isn't laminated, but we're not, you know, it's not getting that hot. Flip it over, essentially we just let it cool. So you can do whatever you want. I see we got a couple little specks there. No big deal. You're gonna get a couple specks no matter what. So I see this little spot right here that seems to be overlapping. It's that freaking simple. Finger test. As this cools, basically all we did was just accelerated the adhesion of the film, so that way we can throw this seal back in. I wasn't even planning on doing it this long, but I figured, like the video, but I figured, you know what, might as well show you, because honestly, I'm kind of tired of the smack talk. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. If you don't want to pull them apart, you don't want the liability, whatever, that's fine, that's on you, but don't down talk those of us that do want to produce awesome results, because I don't know, I'm not saying it can't be done, but I can tell you I've seen enough of these Passports, Pilots, Ridgelines, even like the Camrys with the quarters on the rear that have been done poorly. I've seen enough of those that I'll take the extra 5 or 10 minutes and peel these out every time. Normally I'll charge like 20 extra bucks on a car that I know I want to pull the quarters on, just to offset that little bit of time. Come on now. These are real fun when they're cold, but let's just, you know, hit her with the old glass cleaner there. I mean, you tell me. You can see this right here is where the rear view mirror trim and stuff, this is going to sit in the door. It's going to be the mirror and all that stuff. So I mean, you can see that we don't have any contamination. We got some hard water spots on the glass. We got some fingerprints in here, which we're not really super worried about. Check this out. Installation, if you're worried about that, hit that with a little glass cleaner. Nothing special. Don't slip on that release liner that you just put on the floor. Installation, reverser removal. Pull this little guy back. Now you gotta watch this trim, this molding or whatever you want to call it, because sometimes these will be built, they'll be installed like kind of wonky. Grab a hold of this, peel it back out. Like the other side, that was all folded over. This piece was, and that's how it was assembled, because it, you know, rubber has a certain memory to it once you put it together. You know what I mean? So knowing that it was like that means that it was like that before we ever touched it. Otherwise, it'd just flop right back. Oh. Now it's just pretty much a matter of making sure your screws are tight. But what I like to do first and foremost is line up this little guy. It's tapered, machined, whatever, like, so it's gonna kind of line everything up. So I like to lock it down. I like to put my trim back together. And sometimes these are goofed up from the factory too, so I like to fix those if I can. All right. Nothing special. Pretty much just like to get that on there, get it started. Oh. Helps if you put it in the right hole, you know. Where's our other bolt? Alright, hold that thought. Yeah. What a dodo bird. I was literally looking for this last bolt. It was in the impact. None of this stuff is like super, you know, like tight. So you don't gotta smoke them all the way to Alabama. And then again, I pretty much just leave these tabs here because I'm gonna bottom load, so there's no point in putting all this stuff back together because we gotta drop these in. But there you go. I don't know what the time was on that, but a few extra minutes. Now it's good to go. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.